I'm quite curious about where liability and ownership of data sits. In the past few broadcasts of MEED Live, we've been looking at digitalization, particularly in the construction and project sector. So, online digital models of projects where you have teams around the world, working on the designs and construction. Who is responsible? Who's liable for hacking or vulnerability of the system? And if things go wrong or something, where does liability sit?
It's a really good point. So the initial liability, the criminal liability, lies on the actor, the person doing it. Okay, so there's plenty of cybercrime laws in the region, including here, which obviously prohibit and make criminal hacking as an example. But when it comes to ensuring that there are securities in place, it's a bit of a grey area. So the company's law here does impose duties on directors to, they owe duty of care to the company and shareholders. And so, for example, it's arguable that they should take steps to mitigate against these risks to prevent any sort of claim for negligence in the event there is an attack that causes the company harm.
So from a corporate risk point of view, if I'm involved in some project where there's shared data or systems, if something goes wrong, the risk to me personally or to my company is a negligence claim. Is it that I've exposed others to the threat?
It could be that, or it could be contractual. The usual lawyer answer, it depends on the facts.
Yeah.
But there are definitely risks that need to be considered.
So it's a third area, isn't it? So actually you talked about the first area is loss of data or the commercial risk, and then Neil, you talked about the physical threat to someone taking over a piece of infrastructure or an asset. And now there's a third area, which is the contractual or negligence threat. Is it?
Again, well, it would depend on the circumstances. So if you're a major company and you haven't implemented security standards around your data, and because of that you're hacked, and that's caused loss to the company, there might be a claim that the shareholders can take against the company, for example, or worse yet, maybe on a personal level, the directors. So there's that possibility. If the breach causes or prevents you, for example, from completing a contract, supplying a customer with something, a service or a good, maybe there's a breach of contract claim there as well. So can you carve out liability, for example, because of cyber attack, or can you get insurance probably to cover that loss?